What's up, guys? It's Get Ready to Battle, and welcome to part 8 of me going over every single section in the Rift. This one will be the Colosseum. To enter the Colosseum, you will need to either enter from the Black Lagoon, or from in front of the West Village. Personally, I recommend actually just going from the Wizard Tower and running here, but you can also go teleport to the farm and run here. Or if you're willing to spend the most, teleport to the Lagoon House and get thrown over for 400 motes. You'll be in this area. There was normally a bunch of slimes in the middle, but this is a boss fight. And this boss has recently been defeated, so instead, right now, I will teach you about everything else involving this area, which is like 2 things. Thing number 1, on the backside will be a portal eye that you can teleport to be able to easily access this area. Back here, there will be Gooey. I believe he does 10 damage per second, so you will need to kill him fast, but once you get that, you'll be able to teleport him whenever, and you will gain a bonus 50 seconds of rift time, which isn't useful, because this boss is really annoying to fight, and it's hard to fight him solo. You want to team up with people, since everyone gets the same reward no matter how much everyone contributes, which means also, especially if you see other people fighting this boss, you will want to just immediately join in. Doesn't matter how far they progressed, you will get full rewards if you help them. The other second area is actually up there. You will need to use the power of teleporting to actually get up there the first time. So I will now do that. Up here, once you climb up the path, there will be this mole. Talking to this mole will give you the ability to get the only rift soul in this area. For that, you will need to then jump. You need to go full circle and jump onto these individual pillars. For now, I will not be doing that because it's time for the boss fight, because someone else is here doing the boss fight for this area. Here we have a slime called B, along with a bunch of slimes around here. You will hit the slimes. When they get basically killed, you throw them at him, who is now currently called B. His name gets revealed more throughout the fight. You launch him towards him, and once he's full, he's ready for phase 1. Here you will charge these up, and you will hit these tentacles that he has. Once you teleport him enough, then these blobber cysts come out. Now you can either hit them with normal damage, or you can throw a slime at them for 100 damage. Depends on whatever's best for you. Once you kill all the tentacles, he will come down, and you're able to hit him with your pickaxe. Or your weapon if you have a different weapon by now. He now spawns up here. B has grown into a Ba. And it's now time for phase 2. He casts Spike Pandemoglob, or I guess that's his name. He will spawn all these spikes out of the ground, and you have to keep dodging them. Fortunately, these spikes do not stop. You will need to keep running around. And if you think you've invested enough, guess what? He starts saying, get it back to the arena or you'll die, and he keeps adding exclamation points. Until eventually, I don't know what the penalty is for actually staying out. It only happened once, but it's bad. Now, he's grown tentacles into the ground, while still shooting the spikes out of the ground. You will need to break these tentacles. This is also why it's very useful to help, or have someone with you helping. As you see, we have another person here that happened to be doing this anyway. And you can break him down, and break him apart, and you get the blobber cyst. There's no specific reward for getting a blobber cyst, it just makes it so it goes faster. Once all the blobber cysts are done, it's now time for the intermediary. I'm going to beat you up with my weapon. And now, phase 3. Ba is now back. Or Bach. Whoever knows past it. Now he has another ability. Malign Slice Line. He slices the thing into either halves or into thirds. If you're in the wrong half, you will take a bunch of damage, which I believe is 30. Which might happen right now. Which luckily it didn't. But also, by thirds I meant quarters, I'm sorry. But here's the quarter, and I took 30 seconds of damage from not being in the right slice on time. It's unfortunate, so be willing to teleport to not die. This you have to keep just running phases, and then now he does both at the same time. He doesn't just stop at one. So you will need to be prepared, constantly on the move, constantly agile, and this will take a bunch of resources in terms of time to do. Basically, invest your entire Rift experience, at least for this instance, on completing the backbeat boss. So we are now in phase 2, running around, waiting for him to do tentacles. Now you go, and now he does 3 tentacles into the ground. Once again, they all still take 4 health to actually kill. Also, the hitboxes can be a bit weird. Be prepared. Luckily, it's always 2 hits for every slime, no matter what weapon you have. Or at least by the time you've gotten here, you have the weapon that you need to 2-shot them. Fortunately, they do all these attacks at the same time, which can be a massive problem. You can have all the slimes lined up, and then guess what? You aren't with the slimes anymore. And if you're slightly off, you miss the entire tentacle in the first place. This boss fight I'm just going to show in its entirety, because I feel like that will more correctly demonstrate how the boss fight works, what you have to give up to fight him. There we go. And now this ball resist is free. You can hit him with a pickaxe. And luckily I just happened to get lucky and put him in a corner, so I did not take a bunch of damage from that. There's still one more tentacle, and none of the slimes are near the tentacle, which is unfortunate. And to hit him from far away, you're gonna have to be a sniper. Or the teammate can help by breaking it for you. Ball just dies, and then it's time for the intermediary beat up back because we're upset phase. Now it's time for phase 4. This is now backed. It's like bacteria. That's totally a reference to bacteria. Now he spawns, quote-unquote, a slime copter. This is the pillar in the middle that will keep, or not pillar, a horizontal pillar that you have to keep jumping over. If you had problems with the laser from the Leech Supreme fight, then bad news, because this is pretty similar. It takes 10 seconds and flings you up, which is a problem not only when there's more stuff going on, but when there's also slime on the ground, meaning you don't have complete control over how high you jump. As you see, the slime progresses as we enter different phases, and also gets faster. So much that it could end up hitting you while you're falling from the first one. So be careful. Luckily, he becomes tired, and that's totally the solution. That's totally what's going to happen, and it's just kidding. It's actually not done. Good news is not going to keep switching sides. It's going to stay at this the entire way. But now you also have all 3 attacks at the same time, meaning by trying to dodge one, you can end up dying to another. Which is very dangerous and worrying, and a good reason why you want other people to help you, because as someone here, I got like the entire way and I just could not land on the ground for like what felt like a minute. And I said, no, I'm not doing this until someone else helps me. So I recommend, worst case scenario, you can ask the people in the lobby you're in for help. You can just ask, like, hey, anyone doing Bacti? And they will come to help. At least some people will. Now, here there are 4 tentacles, but they only have 3 durability each, making it so they are easier to break. Or they require, in total, the same number as before. You will need all the slimes, though, and it feels like the slimes keep congealing, I guess, is the way to say it when it comes to slimes. Now, if you are just, like, a hardcore gamer, then you might actually be fine with everything that's going on, but likely you're not. And you will just be attacked by everything. There we go. And you get another one. These spikes. There we go, he's dead. So now there's only 2 more tentacles left. I'm going to keep breaking. It's over. Just keep hitting him. Now he also hits you for a time. Don't know how much, though. I remember those tentacles hit you for 20 seconds. The slice hits you for 30. I forgot how much the slime's hitting you does. Maybe even 0. A good thing to point out that they have not pointed out yet, inside the Colosseum, your natural time goes away at half the speed. Meaning, I don't have 25 minutes to live in this area, I have 50 minutes to live in this area right now. Which is helpful, but it'd be better if it was different. You get what I mean? Problem is with the... God, I'm in the wrong path. And also, people can join in halfway through, and they get full rewards. Meaning it is helpful, even if you see like a fight is going down and it's almost done, join in anyway. You get the rewards for it, and it will be much easier. You get to run over and break this. which I guess is not the final section. I believe if he's doing a slice, he'll actually delay himself dying until the slice is done. As you can see, it's now done, so he's now going away, and we can hit him with a pickaxe until he dies. We can go beat him up while he's small. But now it's time for phase 5, probably the most fun phase. We got a blaster enabled, the entire ground is slime, and we're now flying around. We can left click to shoot beams, which also looks like Enigma souls, which is funny. If we shoot up, then we'll refill. And there's 6 tentacles into the ground, but we don't have to worry too much about them, because we're flying around. There's no bacteria that spawn. They're still the same attacks, but they're not as bad, because now we have so much more maneuverability. That's not too bad. We can just jump higher than the spike itself. The blaster runs out of juice at the same time that the tentacles run out, so you don't actually have to worry about how much juice your blaster has. Either way, whenever you win, you've beaten Bacti, you get 6,000 motes and 8 fragments. Every single person gets that. These fragments are needed for multiple resources. Number 1, you must spend 8 and 20 shy cruxes back from the first section to get the time charm that you need to complete. You need to spend 8 along with some Volt Cruxes and Shadow Cruxes to upgrade your pants to give you 30 seconds and 5 mana regen. It does also remove your speed, which is unfortunate, but there is an upgrade to remove that downside in the future. Along with that upgrade, there is also even more uses. The other main use, which I won't show directly, is that this is the final item needed for the boat. Actually, I really should show it. Back at the Lagoon Hut, this is the final piece that is needed to complete Reed's boat. Reed's boat will let you actually teleport or access the area that's after this, which means on face you have to... This will take 8, it'll give you 30 seconds, which means on face you have to kill Bacti 3 times, which will take about 3 runs. Notably, you will need more of these in the future. You can't currently see it here, but I know of a few recipes that also need Bacti fragments, so you will need a bunch of these. But for now, just grind 3, so you can access the next area. They aren't that desperate in the beginning of the next area, so you can hold it off if you aren't having fun, or if you're having fun, just keep doing more. It always helps. It does cost 15 minutes to enter the time area, so there is a large time investment, but overall I think it's worth it. Outside of that, there's only one thing left to do. That's the wrong area, and that is to demonstrate how the mole wants you to jump around the circle. This is when I previously got interrupted because more people are grinding out Bacti. Sometimes there's no one who's grinding it, sometimes there are a bunch of people, so you have to determine. Luckily you can see from the outside if people are doing Bacti. But for now, we can say, we can now, if we do most goal, and we're able to teleport, we're able to jump around, we're able to go from area to area, where we need to jump with our high jump boost, over from section to section, jumping on the green wool. We jump around the entire perimeter of the area. Be careful that you don't fall, because it is more dangerous. Have small little slivers to jump on. And if you fall, guess what? You have to repeat. Now, no, I did not mean to fall. That was an accident. But you will... Here, let me try again. Here we go. We are now back. We can keep showing to to do large jumps. Notably, if you just barely miss, you are able to teleport to fix yourself, but ideally you don't miss. You teleport you jump from area to area, which will then bring you over, back to the end, and you can access the only Enigma soul that's in this area. Which means you've completed technically everything there is there to do. There's not much, it's just get the Reed's boat, give it Bacti, get the eye, and get the Enigma soul. To do that, you can keep joining here and keep fighting in the fights, helping out your fellow man. As you see, there are 2 people currently fighting, you can join them. Thank you all for watching the video, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next section, where we explain probably the one people spend the most time on for the Rift. Bye!